Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to start the video saying, hey, what's up you guys? But that's Shane Dawson's brand and I'm not gonna come for it, so. But hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you again so much for your love on my last video. Starting the new creepy series. I'm really excited about it, and so we're gonna continue that today. I don't think I have anything to update you guys on today. I feel like we could just get back into the videos. I'm really washed out and white, but I think we're fine. I don't know. I'm still new to this camera and also doing these videos, so bear with me. But I'm still engaged, so that's one thing that hasn't changed. If you guys forgot what the ring looks like, it's just like that. I'm just letting you know. Today, I thought we could do some more spoopy stories, and I'll try not to mess up as much as I did last time, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully the mic is recording because I don't feel like refilming this today, so yeah. Last time we did the Reddit tag of no sleep. I feel like that scene from White Chicks where they have the hair in the mouth and he's like, because that's what I feel like. But anyway, moving on. Last creepy video we did the no sleep tag on Reddit. I don't know if it's a tag. I don't know Reddit. I'm new to it, so don't judge me. But we did the no sleep one, which is paranormal ghost stories. And today I found more let's not meet stories, which are stories about stalkers. And I've fortunately never had a stalker that I know of. And I've never had an experience like that, but I want to read about it because I love creeping myself out and being a little bit more paranoid going out in public. So we're gonna read a few stories on the Let's Not Meet tag on Reddit and get spooked together. This one is called The Man with an Air-Conditioned Minivan by mango-sticky-bunz. Again, I will have the articles or Reddit posts title and author down below if you guys want to read them yourself again, or you like how it was worded. I don't know. Do with what you will. Okay, anyway, this is a long one, so grab your tea, grab your popcorn, grab your blanket, turn down all the lights, and let's get into a spoopy story. I never knew this sub existed, so I figured I'd share one of my childhood stories. Some context. My aunt and uncle raised me. Not really important to the story, but in case anyone is wondering where my mom was, still to this day, my aunt refuses to believe this happened. So I was raised in the suburb of Ramsey, New Jersey. I was around 10 to 11, so this probably happened around the summer of 2002. My aunt would go grocery shopping in the main ShopRite of town. ShopRite! But it was also in the same parking lot of this pretty big strip mall. So the parking lot was always packed. It was a hot summer day. I must have been out of school for summer because I distinctly remember spending the day at the pool with my aunt, which was right down the street from the ShopRite. She had to do some light grocery shopping, but of course the parking lot was packed. She parked all the way to the side of the ShopRite, so it was all the way to the back of the strip mall, but pretty vacant. I asked if I could stay in the car. She said I'd be too hot, but I said I'll just keep the windows rolled down. She agreed and said she'd only be a few minutes. Now, I can't remember if this van was already there when my aunt pulled into the spot or if he pulled in after, but I can only describe it as a dark-colored van, similar to a typical mom car. A man whose features have been totally wiped from my memory opened up the sliding side door and just sat at the edge of the opening. I remember noticing him just sitting there and smiling in my direction. And it already made me nervous. I would be nervous too. He was wearing normal summer clothes. Nothing about him was really frightening, but he was just sitting there. I wonder if that's why his face is lost to me. I tried to not look in his direction because it was just awkward. He started to go, phew, and fanned himself dramatically. It really seemed like he was trying to get my attention, but I kept ignoring him. I had one of those cheap water toys where they were shaped like a mini Game Boy, and you would push a button and a ring or shape would be pushed up and you had to aim it into a little basket. I remember those! Comment below if you guys remember those. Wow. Flashback, jeez. Finally, he addressed me and said,
"It's so hot out, I can't imagine how hot you must be."
I awkwardly nodded and he said,
"Did you go swimming?"
He obviously noticed I was sitting in my beach towel and all I had on were shorts above my one-piece swimsuit. I said yes and awkwardly tried to focus on my toy. He leaned himself on our car. The windows were almost all the way rolled down and then he said,
"I have AC. Why do you come wait in my car? Are you waiting for your mom?"
I said no thanks, but he kept insisting it was so hot in my car and I must be so miserable. It felt like forever. He was... Really? I have a water reminder that goes off on my phone. We're just gonna mute my phone. Professional filmer here. I said no thanks and he kept insisting it was so hot in my car and I must be so miserable. It felt like forever. He was just trying to convince me to get out of the car. He also kept asking me who I was waiting for. I kept saying my aunt will be back, she just needed a few things. Eventually, he must have gotten bored with me and shrugged and said,
"I hope you don't overheat in there,"
and closed the passenger door and sat in the front seat. He turned the car on and sat there for a little bit more before he pulled away. I remember feeling so incredibly nervous and had that distinct anxious butterfly feel in my stomach. A second after he pulled away, I saw my aunt not far up the lot with her groceries. I told her a man asked me if I wanted to sit in his car with AC and wait for her, and he was really annoying. She was like, "What? You're lying." I insisted it happened, but she just looked confused and said I made it up in my head. To this day, she doesn't believe me and thinks the heat must have really gotten to me that day. I usually jokingly tell her she's lucky her butt didn't get arrested for leaving a kid in the car on a hot summer day. I still don't understand why the man didn't try harder to physically take me out of the car. I don't know if I understood what he was trying to do back then, but as an adult, the memory is chilling. The windows were all rolled down and he could have easily unlocked the doors. I wonder if the busy parking lot literally saved me. If I had been forced out, I 100% would have caused a scene, and for sure someone would have at least noticed. All I know is some guy back in 2002 thought he was smooth enough to convince a kid to jump in his minivan to enjoy his AC. I'm just grateful for whatever reason I didn't get out of the car, and hopefully he was never successful with whatever his intentions were. My outlook on people is not positive enough to think he truly was just trying to be nice to some kid on a hot day. I'm glad you didn't get in that car either, because there's no way his intentions were pure if he approached a child alone in a car asking them to get in his van. There's no way. I understand it would be different if... How would it be different? If the windows were rolled up and she was in like clear distress, I understand someone coming up and being like, "Oh my gosh, please, can I help you? Can I call someone? Why are you in here alone?" But the windows were down and she was just chilling playing a game. She wasn't in distress. She wasn't asking for help. She wasn't in any danger. So his intentions were really, I don't think, the purest. So this one seems pretty promising. So it says, almost kidnapped twice by constantly irritable. I'm sure people can relate to that. Longtime reader, first time poster. This happened to me and a friend back in 2012 and it was terrifying both times. For starters, where I live is top 10 in the US for sex trafficking, so kidnappers happen a lot. Okay, number 1. So this was a couple years back, I believe 2012, when me and my best friend decided to take a walk down the road to relax around 9 at night. We were both 20 at the time and both had athletic builds. We were walking to the Kangaroo to grab a slushie, then walk back home. Overall, it would be an hour-and-a-half trip. Where we were isn't in the middle of nowhere, but it's not the city either. We are about halfway there and this big lifted truck drives by us. It then comes back the opposite way 5 minutes later. My friend said this is the second time that truck drove by and that he felt uneasy. Not even 2 minutes later, the truck came by again, speeding this time. My friend yelled at me to hide and thankfully we were right in front of a person's house. We jumped behind some bushes and tried to be as quiet as possible. The truck has stopped and some really country-sounding guys in their 30s hopped out. We heard them asking where we went and to find us. We stayed still for about 7 minutes and they said, "Forget it, let's get out of here." That's my accent. We then waited for the truck to disappear and we knocked vigorously on the person's door. They answered and we explained what just happened and if we could get a ride back home. Thankfully, they were nice and did as we asked. Number 2. So same friend and I go on another walk about 2 months later. All right, so clearly you need to stop going on walks with this friend because I don't think it's gonna end up great. But not as far out around the same time though. We walked to the Food Lion near my old high school and back. On our way back, another big lifted truck was speeding down this back road and ran us off the road. I yelled at them and flipped them off and the truck screeched to a stop. Helping my friend up, I see 4 people in their 20s to early 30s get out. This time some had shotguns. They started running at us yelling, "Don't even think about running." Naturally, we sprinted and jumped the school's gate and ran across the practice football field until we reached our car on the other side. Frantically trying to get in, we hear them yelling at us to come back. We then floored it home and made sure we weren't followed. That was the last walk we took together for obvious reasons. To those abductors who wanted God knows what, let's never meet. Yeah, that sounds like a great time. Really great. Really great. Just really great. Just so great. I would never go on a walk again. I would just be like, you know what? I'll go to the gym and walk. I don't need fresh air. All right, this one's called Home Alone, and that's my favorite Christmas movie, so why not? This one is called Home Alone by littlekiwibirb. Hi y'all, first time posting, and I figured this might be just the place for my little encounter. My girlfriend and I have been living in our new apartment approximately 3 to 4 months at the time of this story. For clarification and background, we live in a basement level unit. The one and only entrance is inside the building and down the stairs. However, there's 4 windows facing nothing but a row of shrubbery and tree line. It was roughly 9 to 10 p.m. She was at work for the evening and I had the place to myself. Lights on and TV blasting. I was sitting in the living room planning on eating trashy and binge watching the remaining episodes of Broad City. Not long into it, however, I heard a scraping sound from the bathroom. My first thought, a mouse, which was the last thing we needed. So I get up and make my way through the hallway as quietly as I can to catch a glimpse of it. The closer I got, the more I realized the scratching wasn't coming from the bathroom, but rather the window in the master bedroom. My next guess was it's simply kids playing outside, as they tend to, or the bunny I had seen bouncing out there that morning. Even more likely, someone taking a dog out to pee. I paused, tried to hone my hearing, and only then noticed it wasn't a sound echoing from outside, but rather scratching on the window itself. I started into the bedroom when I noticed the sound stopped and moved to the adjacent window in the room next to it. A smaller bedroom that gave us the creeps as is. We never used it. There's no light source. It simply sits dark and empty aside from a few boxes of my clothing. Now thinking back, it was probably a bad idea. I'm a small girl, maybe 5'2", 90 pounds, soaking wet, but I do have a bit of spirit and a tad bit of temper. I had hoped upon being discovered that whoever it was, obvious to me now that it was someone, not something, would run off. I had caught him red-handed, so I steeled myself and yelled out, "I hear you! What do you want?" The scratching stopped instantly. I waited, after what felt like an eternity. I assumed the coast was clear. I made my way to the windsill and slowly cracked open the blinds. I don't know why I did, because there he crouched, peering into me with the widest and wildest eyes I've ever seen on a person. Most certainly strung out on something. He told me to let him in. As shocked as I was, I almost laughed at the audacity, as if I was just going to swing open the window and let him waltz in. Using the remaining courage I had mustered, I tell him not so gently, "No, get the F away from my house." He again told me to let him in, to which I informed him I was calling the police and hurriedly proceeded to do just that. I even turned the phone to face him for added effect, hoping this act would scare him / intimidate him. Anything to get this man to leave. Unfortunately, it had the exact opposite effect. He was seething, raging, and practically foaming at the mouth. He drew back and punched the window hard, repeatedly slamming his fists and palms against the glass. The window started cracking, blood flinging up like a gore-filled movie effect. I was out of there fast, heart racing, slamming the door shut behind me, so tempted to run out the front door, but incredibly scared that he would just come around the front of the building. It would take no time at all for him to do so. Torn and trapped, I picked up the nearest blunt object and placed myself in between the two doors. I figured whichever one moved first, I'd go out the other. I still had the phone to my ear, urging the 911 operator to get someone here fast. In my panicked state, I also feared for my girlfriend who would be coming home soon. I messaged her warning about what was going on. Eventually, sirens and a pounding came from the front door. The police had arrived. I explained what had happened, and they searched the apartment area near the window, coming back with a set of keys that he had possibly dropped, but no sign of him other than the broken window. They took a sample from the blood splatter on what was left of the glass. My girlfriend came home shortly after, having left work early and calling the police herself. I'm grateful she did. Maintenance had been notified, and they threw up temporary boarding until it could be repaired. They never actually found the guy, or if they did, I never received any updates about it. Definitely didn't get any sleep that night. That's insane. It makes it so much more creepy that they never found the guy. What was his purpose of being there? Did he know her? Did they work together? Did they go to school together? Was he just some guy who, I don't know. People like that are so crazy, and that's why I have locks on my windows and stoppers on my windows, because I don't trust, like in the summer, I don't know if you guys like to do this, but I like to sleep with my window cracked because it allows that like breeze, that cool breeze in, but I have a stopper on my window so that it can't be moved. Because of stories like this, they freak me out, and people in this world are crazy. There's a lot of good in this world, and there's a lot of good things in this world, but it's also matched with a lot of bad things and people who you don't know their intentions and are just crazy. So be safe out there, guys. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the stalker stories. If you guys have any crazy stories, please feel free to message me or comment below them. I would love to read those as well. I live a pretty sheltered, safe life, I like to think, and I'm grateful for that. So I don't have any crazy stories. The crazy things that I talk about are my dreams. Like last night, I had a dream where I came home from a vacation and my luggage got stolen from kids in the neighborhood. And they were banging it and rolling it around the street, trying to knock open the luggage and make it like cracked and damaged. And I called the 911 operator and I was like, I don't know what to do. These kids are rolling my luggage down the street and I don't know how to stop them. I need my luggage. Can you please send someone out here to stop them? And by the time I had finished that sentence, they stopped destroying my luggage and I took it and I got back home. So if you guys want to hear more about my dreams, I would love to tell you. Again, guys, also, if you guys have any video suggestions, please leave them down in the comments because I really love making these YouTube videos and I don't want you guys to get bored of them. So if you guys have any suggestions on what you want to see, cooking videos, proposal story, Disney college program stories, more creepy stories, daily vlogs of my time, what I do when it's my off day, please let me know. I would love to include you guys as much as possible on this channel. Again, everyone who's subscribed lately, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. And everyone who has been supporting me, thank you so much. Make sure to like and comment below and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Join our Ohana, we would love to have you. And again, if you guys want to see me on a more regular basis, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/RayforRachel, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. We would love to have you come watch the shenanigans we get into. Again, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys. I don't know. I just lost my train of thought. So that's a thing. I remember feeling so incredibly nervous and had the distinct ancient, but not as, frantically trying to get in, we hear them yelling back, come, the one and only interest is, I started into the bedroom when I noticed the sound stopped and moved to the adjacent, I made my back, I made way